for this session of questions and answers. Before Dr. Tedros makes another announcement, do we have Gabriela Sotomayor from Proceso, Mexican outlet, with us? Gabriela?
Sí. Hola.
Yes. Thank you very much. I'm going to ask my question in Spanish. Now, my question is on Mexico. Dr. Tedros, you're talking about unity and solidarity, and that is something that's very important. And in the country, in Mexico, what we're seeing is that on the one hand, the person in charge of the pandemic is saying that the epidemic is at its peak. But on the other hand, they don't believe in doing testing, that it doesn't make sense when we have this number of cases. But then on the other hand, the President of the Republic is encouraging people to go out again and to stop being afraid and to ease the lockdown. So there's not really unity there, and the situation in the country is very worrying. So I'd like to hear your opinion. Thank you.
So I don't have this particular information which you said, but I will answer the question in a general terms. And of course, repeating what I said earlier. At the national level, we have been saying it many times that there should be a national unity and that countries should unite in their borders across party lines, across phases, across ideologies, or whatever differences we have. This virus exploits the cracks between us. This virus exploits the division between us. It's only when we're united that we can defeat it. Some months ago, I had a phone call with the Prime Minister of Finland, and she was telling me about their model, which is exactly what I said. They have a committee of the ruling and the opposition party, and they work together in identifying the problems, proposing solutions, and working together to respond to the pandemic. That's the sort of national unity across all the differences which I have said is important. And when there is national unity, that leads to a genuine global solidarity too. When there is no national unity, it affects the global solidarity. And that's why we're calling for both as a package, national unity and global solidarity. You can go back to history also. When the world unites together to fight a common disease or a common virus or other health problems, it succeeded. When it united across ideologies or other differences it had. So we should learn from history. That's what we're saying. And this is a very dangerous virus and something that is causing serious damages to lives and livelihoods. And this has to stop. You know, the different measures that countries have taken to control the virus have turned the lives of many citizens upside down. Normally we see its impact on health or on lives, but its impact on livelihoods is even more serious. I know millions have lost their jobs. And we know many have lost their livelihoods. And we said it many times, an invisible but a very small virus is causing havoc. And we said it many times that this should be a humbling moment. This is when we're asking and when we need to really reflect and see humility as the main way to get out of this problem. For any individual person or any nation, weak or strong, poor or rich, it's a humbling situation. So that's why we're saying enough is enough. Our fear is, as we have said, although it's declining in Europe, it's increasing in other parts of the world. And even Europe cannot be safe because the virus can be reintroduced even to Europe back. No one is safe until everybody is safe. And that's why the unity and solidarity is important. We cannot fight this virus in isolation by looking inside and taking care of our respective countries only. We should think globally too. That's why in addition to the national unity, we need global solidarity to deny the virus any cracks, any division. So the question, Gabriela, you asked is very, very important. And the most important factor in this fight is national unity and solidarity. Otherwise, with the increasing number of cases that we see now, we can say that the virus is actually starting, and it will continue to wreak even more havoc, not just lives, but the livelihoods. So that's why we need unity and solidarity and fight it together. I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tedros. Dr. Tedros,
maybe I could just add some specific data on Mexico. There have been nearly 130,000 confirmed cases in Mexico with over 15,000 deaths so far. Of the 10 countries reporting the highest number of cases in the last 24 hours, Mexico ranks 7th. And of the 10 countries reporting deaths in the last 24 hours, Mexico ranks 3rd. So the situation in Mexico is clearly difficult. It is challenging. The overall positivity in tests is about 37%, and in that sense, 37% of those tested are tested positive. So there clearly is the epidemic, as it is across all of the Americas. 4 of the top 10 countries reporting cases in the world today are in the Americas, and similarly on deaths. So the pandemic is most active in the Americas and highly active in Central and South America. Many countries are affected, and Mexico is but one. So from that perspective, and as the DG says, there needs to be consistent messages from governments at national and subnational level. I think what we've seen around the world is our citizens get very confused if they perceive that they're getting different messages from different parts of the system. We really do need to align our messaging and ensure that we're all working together to ensure that our citizens are getting the best possible information to protect themselves and protect their loved ones and their communities.
Thank you, Dr. Ryan, for this. Dr. Tedros will have another topic to mention, but we will conclude the press conference as it is. I would also like to thank our guests, Dr. Natalia Kanem, Executive Director of UNFPA, Ms. Jayatma Vikramanayake, UN Envoy for Youth, President Gabriela Cuevas Baron of Interparliamentary Union, and Marianne Etiebet, lead Merck for Mothers. Audio file from this press briefing will be sent to journalists shortly, and the transcript will also be posted. I will give the floor back to Dr. Tedros.
Thank you, Tariq. And before I say bon weekend, I would like to say a few words about the World Blood Donors Day this coming Sunday. As you know, this Sunday is World Blood Donors Day, an occasion to thank and celebrate blood donors all over the world for their selfless contribution to saving and improving lives. Many countries still lack universal access to blood transfusions and blood-related medicines. The COVID-19 pandemic has further reduced the world's blood supply. Our message on World Blood Donor Day is keep donating blood and saving lives. Giving blood during COVID-19 is safe, provided physical distancing and hygiene measures are respected. So thank you and have a nice weekend, and look forward to seeing you on Monday, and thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.